today I am at a rally to support the stop of Asian hate crimes and to support the AAPI community. And I was able to ask some people questions relating to culture and politics, and here is what I got. And if we don't speak about it now, if we don't give justice to these victims, whose horrific murder was brushed off as just a bad day, then this sort of persecution is going to keep on happening. And as you can see now, although we didn't see many hate crimes in the past, it was always under the surface.
If you're against isms or racism of any kind, then you have to show your solidarity. We were both out here a year ago when we had the largest rally here in Howard County, and again, he said he's state's attorney, I work for an elected, and we both, outside of our current roles, we are very active in the Howard County NAACP and other organizations. So this comes with the territory, because if you're going to fight for equality, however it looks like, I mean, it has to be for all.
So I think growing up around like a diverse population and meeting people of different cultures and backgrounds definitely allowed me to kind of have a wider view of the world and learn more about different opinions and issues that people deal with.
You know, I was raised in Huntington Beach, California, which is an intense hotbed of white supremacy. And so I would say that the people that I was raised around, not so much. But the folks that I choose, you know, showing up to something like this is one small piece of making sure that the atmosphere that you're in doesn't leave room for white supremacy.
My father is a Republican. My mother is a Democrat. I'm an ardent Democrat. But I don't think they really put pressure on me one way or the other. I kind of just, I feel a certain way in my core. And if I were to think about the things that I value happen to align with the Democratic values 98% of the things. And so that's why I support the things I care about.
For certain, I think it was Simon Sinek who said that culture will eat strategy for breakfast every time. And so culture, I think, is all of it, because culture is where all of those unspoken agreements live. And no matter how many structures we create, if the way that we live on a daily basis is patently apathetic to a culture of hatred or a culture of disenfranchisement or division or supremacy, then it is inherently going to show up in ways that even systems can't account for.
Their religion into a weapon to block abortion rights, to brush off these things that are happening right now. Like the municipality, the police system is very political. And you can see right now, like, white supremacy has been ingrained into their minds so much that they just brush it off as a bad day. So culture and politics, they're basically one and the same thing.
See the relation. The culture, I think, actually supersedes politics. Frequently, culture moves first and politics plays catch up, in part because politicians respond to the people. And so when the people have a set of values that they espouse and a large enough number of them adopt that philosophy, the politicians are forced to naturally come in line. And hopefully they're already aligned with those kind of views. But if not, there's a tendency to want to please people that are going to put you and keep you in power. And so they kind of fall into place. The good politicians believe what they believe, and their values are timeless, not timely. But that's the way it works.
Looking at it negatively, you've seen how in the past decade, the culture of, I'm saying the conservative culture that in many ways is based on the Bible Belt and their interpretation of even religious culture and how it impacts their political orientation. So I would definitely say culture influences politics, and if you look historically, it can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing.
Hi everyone. So with the short compilation videos I was able to put together, I found it very interesting to see how people would answer the same question differently just based on the way they were raised or their ideals that they hold. And with that, it made me think a lot about some connections with readings that we have done, like the impact of conservative culture on politics from Wild Almonds and Hills readings and the impact of immigration compartments readings, even as well as the recurring idea of imagined communities. I also thought about how at the end of lecture 4, Professor Descripta had said politics shapes culture almost as much as culture shapes politics, which makes one think about how impactful culture and politics are, and also how diverse it is in the way that people think about it and how differently it can impact someone's life.
Yes.
in every situation, but of course, in the worst of times when they've been targeted. Like, they need the support, everyone needs it, and it's important to be here all the time, not just on Facebook.
King and say, I don't quite know how he said it, but injustice for some means injustice for all.
It is time for all of us to come together and recognize that white supremacy and patriarchy are the parents of racism, xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia, misogyny, classism, ableism, and all those other isms of hate that take away the dignity of all human beings that they encounter.
I don't necessarily see this as a political movement. I kind of think this is just like a community issue. So I hope that people understand that this is a topic that everyone should be kind of supporting and fighting about, because it's not just Asian people that are affected by it, it's everyone, even if you're not a minority. So I hope that it actually like inspires like actual conversation and good change in policies.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.